Greetings and welcome back to the Enclave. I have some good news and some bad news. I'll start with the bad news. The Enclave is a bit smaller than you might remember it when it stretched over Northern California, ready to take on Caesar's Legion itself, having conquered a new California Republic and more than that. And the reason for why it's so small again is that we're going to have to restart. And that's because since the last recording, which was quite a while ago now, the game, meaning Hearts of Iron 4, updated itself to the latest version. The DLC came out a few weeks ago, and the mod also updated itself. And I've tried to roll back to the previous versions, and I've tried to load the save in all kinds of configuration, and it just won't let me. So I can't continue on the previous save. The good news is in relation to that, because the Reformer update has been released to this Enclave Reborn mod. So I figured if I can't continue the purest one, or the purity part of the tree, why not just try with the reforms? So that's what we're going to do, and we'll start straight away with our escape. We've done this before. It's just and all of these in the Old World Blues mod is like 7 days for the first 3, and then it will go on to be a bit longer, but no, not always too long. The Reformer update looks very intriguing. I've only had the chance to take a glance at it. It's quite comprehensive and extensive, maybe is a better word for it. Stretching, it's a lot. It's a big one. It's a really big one, and it looks really cool with having a legitimacy thing and whatnot. So we'll just have to see how it plays out over time. We'll pick some technologies as well. Let's see what technologies do. Reinforce rate is always good, and research speed is always good. I always like these ones, but it is ahead of time. Oral instructions is good, though maybe I should have focused on woodworking prior to the other ones. Construction speed plus 10%. Maybe I should do that instead of combat language. Reinforce rate 1% ain't too good at the moment. Plus this will give us tribal huts, and that increases monthly population. Always good. More soldiers, more people. It's always a good thing. Alright. As you may or may not hear, I don't know if it's noticeable on my voice currently, but I have also been sick, and I've been to Italy for a while, so yeah, busy life, busy things happening. Sick ain't too nice, though I really should get over it soon. I mean, it's been going on for quite a while now. Alright, we have some soldiers here, Navarro veterans, Enclave remnants, the works. We've had them before. We know what they do. We'll put on some good guy to guide them for now. Let's put Lieutenant Mary Orwich, unit leader. She'll have to handle those soldiers. I don't expect us to go into much in the way of combat currently. And we're producing absolutely nothing. We don't have anything. What do these guys actually need? Infantry equipment and power armor. Alright. I apparently can't make any, because I don't have any military factories, which is, well, that's a problem, I would say. That is a problem. We'll get over it though. Let's start time. No divisions and basic training. There's no point because we don't have anything and we only have 500 manpower free. It's weird to go back to this point when I've gotten so far before and ready to take on this big war, and I'm very sad that won't happen, It's quite sad. Alright, our escape. Years ago we managed to escape from the destruction of the main Enclave forces at Navarro. The manner in which we survived can still be felt today. And here we see even a picture of the route they took. All the way from Navarro, crossing here. There's a safe house here, but we dodged that one and go straight to the army depot. Fought our way out with power armor. 3 divisions of Enclave veterans appear at the Sierra Armor Depot. We have the vertibirds, could use those, or deserted before the fighting got bad. 3 divisions fully equipped and ready. Won't be too bad. I think I will take that. I mean, 5,000, like the manpower ain't bad either. The thing is, now we get fully equipped, ready to fight the soldiers without having to train them, and they're also quite good already. So, it's always good. In the Lair of the Bear. Yes, this thing again. Hide activities from the NCR. That's we've done that before. We know what to do. And let's see, our choice. This will be a bit different though, because we know we have the reformers, so we have to think about not letting the least take power and go for Douglas Granite instead of Franklin Anderson. But it seems that there's a lot of choices on how to approach the reformer tree, so we'll see what happens. Our president. Sergeant Dornan is well respected by both the reformer and purist faction within the Enclave. Nonetheless, neither see him as a viable president and have presented their own candidates. The purists have selected Franklin Anderson as their candidate, while the reformers are led by Douglas Granite. It appears the purist faction has the advantage, but the support of the Sarge could still tip the scales in favor of the reformers. Let's see. Sergeant Dornan supports Douglas Granite. Dornan decides Dr. Anderson is a moron. Douglas Granite is the reformer faction. Of the reformer faction becomes the new Enclave president. Is what we will pick. So now we have Douglas Granite leading us. And I'm fairly certain they won't be too happy about that. Our president, Sins of the Father. Let's see how that plays out. And we need to pay our first payment here to make sure that we are safe from the NCR for a while. I notice here that there are some interesting things in regards to that. Where is that? Infiltrate the NCR. Here it is. That we can go for fairly quickly. That just lowers the suspicion, the cost of suspicion. So it's a different way of approaching it. Sins of the Father. Granite's past is a controversial subject in our midst, and made all the more contentious by rumors spread by purists. The cause is Granite's father and his relationship to the Chosen One. The purists accuse Granite's father of treason for aiding the Chosen One and destroying the oil rig, but lack any evidence. Despite the fact that he will deny these allegations as nothing but political slander. Douglas remembers clearly what his father told him about that fateful day on the oil rig. Alright, let's see. He aided the Chosen One and then went their separate ways. We will get Douglas Youth, Mutant Sympathies, plus 2% non-core manpower. Speaking of the Chosen One, let me tell you who your mother was. What? That's the same essentially, but lose stability over it. He didn't aid the Chosen One. Considering that we will need the stability and war support, let's take that one. After traveling around with his son for a brief few years, Granite Sr. established contact with one of the Enclave's civilian vaults, set up as a contingency to repopulate the American mainland after the Enclave government cleansed it. Since President Dick Richard, it is a great name, had lifted child-rearing restrictions, the vault's population had exploded. Nonetheless, it was a safer place for a child than the Wasteland. Thus, Douglas spent most of his youth in the safety of the vault. Like most children in the Enclave's vaults, Granite was raised with a fervent hatred of communism. Sadly, 200 years of Enclave propaganda and living in a vault run under a command economy meant that he, and most of the other members of the Enclave, were left with a vague understanding of what communism was. As such, Granite knew all enemies of America must be communists. This will increase our war support. Granite's hatred of communism will play a role in future events and is necessary to unlock anti-communist propaganda. Spent history class playing on his Pip-Boy. Gain base stability plus 5%. Because the nation, right, figured, oh, he has played with his Pip-Boy. Which sounds like something completely different when I put it that way. And everyone is rejoiced because of it. War support. I mean, and it's necessary. Yeah, let's do he hates all the communists. When Douglas was 17 years old, the population of the Enclave vault reached the utter limits of his life support systems. As a result, a large portion of the healthy and strong were ordered to leave the safety of the vault to establish contact with the largest group of Enclave remnants, led by an old Navarro drill sergeant. Douglas, however, was quick to contact with his father's Granite company instead, slipping away from the rest unseen. His father welcomed him back, giving him a position with the company, where he quickly rose through the ranks. When Douglas was a lieutenant of the Granite Defense Company, he was contacted by a party under attack by raiders. The call sounded desperate, and came from an NCR battalion fighting raiders, Brotherhood Knights containing a pre-war threat, Caesar scouts seeking new lands. What do we want here? An NCR battalion fighting raiders sounds pretty interesting. At the same time, trying to bond with the Brotherhood would be even more interesting. Let's try the Brotherhood Knights containing a pre-war threat. When Douglas arrived with his team, the situation of the defenders had grown more dire. Their battered defenses crumbling quickly under a determined but almost equally attritioned raider party. Looking over the sad state of both parties, Douglas decided to wipe them out lest they reveal the Enclave's survival. Help take down the raiders. So, we would get charismatic or ruthless. Ruthless would give a bit of manpower, though not a lot. And this would improve relations opinion, which could be good, depending on how we want to do it. Plus, we would have extra research speed. I'll take the extra research speed. Let's do a different approach this time to the Enclave from before. I say that now, and it might not even happen that it will be a different approach. It might just be the same but different. Alright, let's do the reform part. Essentially, in the beginning, we don't really have much to do besides making sure that the NCR doesn't catch us off guard, and that we advance here on our focus tree. We have no industry, we can't build more stuff, we can't recruit the units because we don't have any manpower and such. You know, the works. Speaking of which, how many men do these guys have? Hopefully not as many as we do. We'll have to see. We have 8 men. That should probably be enough to take down New Reno, if so desired. Okay, we have a legitimacy tutorial, but first we will do the battle plan here for New Reno. There we go. That sounds good. For the first time in centuries, our fortune has extended beyond core Enclave members. Considering our previous interactions with these newfound citizens could easily be misinterpreted as attempted genocide, proving ourselves that legitimate government will take time and effort. Certain choices we make will increase or decrease our legitimacy. Higher legitimacy comes with bonuses to our rule and allows for new choices in our focus tree. Low legitimacy will come with penalties, at least, until we find a way to keep the Wastelanders loyal regardless of their opinion. You'll notice that the negative effects of our low legitimacy are currently very weak. The effects of legitimacy become more severe as our population expands beyond core Enclave members. Add modifier, legitimacy. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I like it. I'll keep that in mind. The Enclave will tell them what to think. Oh, we could essentially give away some of the legitimacy we could have gotten to gain some more war support and political power. I'll keep that in mind, though. I really will. Alright. And then we have Presidential Victory Speech, the City of Crime. Our next war goal against whomever controls New Reno. Let's do that straight away. I mean, I'm not sure if we are ready to attack New Reno, but better to do it now than have to do it later. Traitors in the Officer Corps. Oh right, damn, this is a lot of things. The recent elections have stirred up latent tensions in our Officer Corps. Many of our most experienced and respected military leadership are Navarro veterans, and there is not a man among them who has not lost a comrade there. It is unsurprising many of them have been taken in by Anderson's message of revenge against the NCR and mutants alike. With our government moving in another direction, tensions are high and there are whispers of traitors. Oh, crap. Alright. Last night, a small group of traitors made off with a vertibird and almost all of our old military codes. Their communications suggest that they were opportunists who saw a better future in selling the codes than wherever the Enclave is headed. Regardless of their intentions, this betrayal is a severe blow. Many old military bases, including the heavily fortified lower levels of the CR Army Depot, are now forever lost to us. Blame the purists. Blame the bastards. Crackdown. Yep, we will need a crackdown. I agree with this. We need a crackdown. Alright. We are preparing for the City of Crime. We need to expand our borders a little bit at least. Just to take New Reno at the very, 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 very least. Apparently the Desert Ranger. I also like these symbols now, like New Reno here. Yeah, this looks nice. And these symbols too. Yeah, look. I like it. I really like it. It's really cool. There's some people that I talk to, like I mentioned, oh, you know what, the Fallout mod for Hearts of Iron 4 is pretty cool. I tell them. And people are like, what? That sounds like a stupid thing. And honestly, I mean, if you think about what Fallout is and how it's played, having a Hearts of Iron 4 mod for it doesn't seem initially like it would be a good idea. It's so much better than, than you think. You just have to give it a shot. It's hard to convince people of that, though. Alright, let's take New Reno straight away, as soon as we possibly can. And we will do the presidential victory speech. We have no stability currently because we're at war. An offensive war, nonetheless. Why are you not advancing? Go to the New Reno outskirts. Take over some New Reno territory. Yeah, I know, we don't have anything. We're bad people. Bad people. Production sufficiency growth. Recruitable population factor, 2%. Max factor is in a state. Production efficiency cap. Factory output is 20%. Take this one. Take New Reno, take Nixon, take Lovelock, take them all. We need to take them now, to win the war as early as possible. Yeah, we're gonna win this. It's just a matter of time. I hope we didn't lose too many things. I can probably look at that. Here we go. We have New Reno. Now we actually have military factories as well. Quite a few of them. Alright. Let's start making a few of these and let's make some common energy weapons. And we need to trade. Yeah, and we won't be able to construct any buildings. That's fine. It's more important to be able to produce a little bit of equipment. So what do these guys actually use in military equipment? Common energy weapons and basic military weaponry. Yeah, took over some stuff. Okay, we can provoke the purists. We gain justification for a crackdown, we sort of already do. And we can reach out to the centrists. Technocracy, do we have technocracy? I think we have. We are the intellectuals anyway. Sounds like a technocracy to me. Or we can start doing some stuff here, dealing with the various people of New Reno. I think we should just get rid of all the crap, right? We can provoke the purists, get rid of them. We could do this, but it kind of just waters it all down. And we get to vent questions about the NCR. We have to promise compromises to the centrists. I don't want to compromise. I'm not a fan of compromise, suddenly. Political infighting, alright. This will give base stability minus, change the popularity of oligarchy, minus 5%. Determine Mary or which retires as a unit leader is executed on false charges. Whole small speech, popularity, blah blah blah. Okay, arrange disappearances, wild promises. Daily intellectual support, change in popularity of technocracy. What? Intellectual, that's what we like. Okay, so you can do that if you need a boost to get over next limit or whatever. That is cool, I suppose, but let's hold a small speech. To improve our percentage. Maybe arrange for a disappearance. Let's specifically get rid of them. And there's also the neutral personnel. There's even 1.75% that still support Sergeant Dornan. Not sure why they would do that. Who cares about Sergeant Dornan after all? I don't know. Alright. Well, we're provoking the purists this time. Is there anything regarding the NCR? We're still doing that. Traders among our scientists. Alright, great. Many of our best and brightest were once part of the secret projects performed at Navarro and the Rig. For this, they were persecuted relentlessly after the fall of Navarro. None of them have forgotten this. Few have forgiven it. Since the recent elections, progress on some projects has slowed down. Laboratory equipment has gone missing and reports of unpatriotic behavior have become common. Great. Our scientists are treacherous. Encounter with Crimson Caravan. One of our patrols stumble upon an expedition. Oh, yeah, I think we've seen this before. NCR suspicion will go up, blah blah blah, lose 5%, lose 2% legitimacy. So far, it is harder, I guess. Like it's more of a balance act, I suppose, than what we had before. I'm not sure if that's even true, but it feels like more of a balance act compared to what we had. Common energy weapons. Yeah, we're advanced on that crap, aren't we? Leather armor. Leather armor, that's good. Provoke the purist. Ooh. So to do this, consolidate power, we need to have 50% support for the reformer faction. Which means that going for a ranged disappearance could be a good thing, doing this could also be a good thing. I mean, this is a fairly nuclear option, though at the same time we kind of have to do it. It will take a long time, otherwise, to get support for the reformers. So if we do this and then do this, that should do quite a bit. Sure, we will lose this leader, but now we are 50% support for reformers. In one fell swoop. Jack Shadow Churchill is the leader. So now we can go consolidate power straight away. Crackdowns, how great. Oh no, wait. No, we don't. We need to save up some more points for... What? Did we lose now? Do we not have 50% anymore? More than 50% support. God damn it! This is why you would need wild promises to get through the hurdles like that. Okay, let's consider here. This is active for 36 days. We don't earn political power very quickly. Though we would... Do we get any political power from any of these things? No, not really. Maybe if you do something like here instead. I mean, you don't need to go as that quickly, right? Plus, these guys will... We will lose from the reformer faction bit by bit. Every single day we will lose quite a bit actually in support. Which is the reason why we would want to get rid of it quickly. Going cold turkey, dealing with the Mordinos. The Mordinos long represented the status quo of New Reno. That is to say, criminality, exploitation, chems and misery. They had many allies but no friends, and few are now willing to lay their lives down in defense of the chem lords. We may strike quickly and expect only limited resistance, but some have suggested that we should use the Mordinos to demonstrate we are serious about our old world values. Nothing demonstrate old world values as... oh, that's legitimacy. But political power... Let's take the political power, because with the political power we can do some nasty, nasty cool stuff. Such as... doing some wild promises, maybe. Because we will lose... We lose quite a bit every single day. And this thing takes 20 days. Okay, let's try to do the arranged disappearance. And hope we can manage to get through this thing before it lowers too much. Look at that, it lowers so quickly. Ah, we need to get rid of those modifiers. Stat. It lowers a bit now, but still, it will be tight. It will be tight. Perhaps not as tight as I assumed it would be, but still too close for comfort. Alright, consolidating power, we managed. Tensions have been high since the elections. It appears support for the purists have only intensified as a result, especially in the upper echelons of our government. That's a word that I mispronounced my entire life. I thought it was... Oh, wait, no, wait, I said it wrong. It's echelons. There we go. See, I did it again. I mispronounced it. I always had it as echelons for some reason, but it's echelons of our government. To address this situation, we have collected all those with grievances towards the new US government into one room, awaiting answers from the new president. Somebody hand me my speech, my fellow Americans. Available because you are charismatic. Ooh, nice. My fellow Americans. Let's speech it up. Okay, so purge the scientists. We need to... pure scientists demoted by decision. Decision. Demote pure scientists. More than 50 stability. Okay. More than 50 stability. We will hide from the NCR. Damn, this is already very expensive. Already very expensive. Okay. So, best way to improve our stability would probably be improved working conditions. So perhaps we should do that. And then we will probably need to start doing some stuff with them and infiltrate the NCR. Just to lower the cost of it, because we have so many things we need to do, so many things we need to consider. Jack Shadow Churchill speaks out in favor of Anderson. Well, fuck him. He's entitled to his position. During a heated argument in the officers' mess hall today, Jack Shadow Churchill has loudly spoken out in favor of Franklin Anderson and his ideas about the Enclave's future. A few choice words were aimed at both the mutants of the NCR and our president, Douglas Granite. While the officer in question may be a capable leader in the field, we should note the opinions of the commanders we appoint to lead. What they say in mess hall and over the radio will always affect their loyal soldiers. Okay. We can do this. It's a 50-50 chance of things going good. Let's see if it actually will. Come on, come on, come on. It went wrong. Okay, of course it will. Leave them be. No witnesses. Leave them be. Let's do... Does this affect us much anymore? It does, actually. Leave them be. We need our damn legitimacy. I like this so far. It is so much of a balance act. Maybe it is because I think of it this way, but still, it feels like a balance act, and I love it. So many things. I want to get rid of these things, but at the same time, the daily change is pretty ruthless. I mean, rueful. All right, so we solved that thing with the NCR. We could hold a small speech, which would give us more time. Let's do that. We have hidden our activity from the NCR anyway. Okay, so could this allow us to get rid of some scientists, I wonder? Oh wait, we have to do that this way. Oh, the stability, damn it, it was stability. Now I remember. Okay, so maybe we should do some stuff with the New Reno. Perhaps increase our legitimacy, which would probably be very helpful. Alright, checkmate is almost done. Here we go. Dealing with bishops. The bishops may have been the most powerful family in New Reno, a dangerous man for many reasons, one of which are his numerous political connections in the NCR. Mr. Bishop's gangsters were loyal enough to face down the other families, but the sight of X-01 power armor sent them scattered. He has retreated to his mansion, accompanied by only his closest and most loyal, surrounded by our forces and trapped. Focus on apprehending the leader, focus on capturing their assets. We would get 3 civilian workshops, or we could get some more political power. We need a political power. We need to get rid of some of these modifiers that increase their power, popularity. Purge the officers. What do we need to purge the officers? Still more than 50% stability. Yep. This is harsh. Harsh. How is the stability thing working out? We have 36% so far. Anything else that can increase our stability? Here, let's look through the natural focus tree. Is there anything here that natural will improve our stability? Going for the new capital here will do that. Definitely. Is there anything here that will do it? This will reduce the suspicion, the Enclave radio. Does give us more political power gain, but not exactly what we're looking for currently. Well, let's just focus on getting New Reno down. That will be the most important part. We still need to hide our activities, but now it will cost less. It should cost less anyway. It doesn't seem like it does, but it should. A shared dream, dealing with... some say that the Wright family has spent the last few decades building with one hand and destroying with the other. But compared to the other families, this makes them almost redeemable. Mr. Wright's vision of a more peaceful and stable New Reno is not entirely incompatible with our own. Allow him to go legit. Game-based ability plus 5%, good. Unlocks a political advisor, Christopher Wright, which brands, blah blah blah. There is no place for his kind here. Allow him to go legit, because we need his ability. We really do need his ability. All allies. So with all of these and the modifier from the improved working conditions, I'm fairly certain things will go well. Okay, recently a commander position has opened up. There are 2 available candidates eligible for promotion. An older, experienced Navarro veteran and a younger, outspoken reformer. Promote a loyal man. Oh, this will give army experience, Frederick van Buren. Let's do the younger man. Leather armor. We got the leather armor done. And let's go for resource gain efficiency, logging camps. Anything here that we can do? Let's do that. Alright. Let's continue on with our lives, waiting for old allies to be done. Let's focus on getting New Reno up and running. This will also mean that this will be less powerful. Old allies. Dealing with Salvatores. The Salvatores have been useful to the Enclave in the past, dealing with us in order to expand their own influence in New Reno. Perhaps they can be useful once again. A puppet ruling New Reno in our name could help make the situation in the city less suspicious to any outside observers. Mr. Salvatore's old smuggling connections may also prove a valuable resource to us, should we decide to keep him alive. He can rule as a puppet. Unlock Salvatore as a political advisor. His effect is increase of NCR suspicion reduced by 3. He can live under house arrest, which gives us stability, very, very attractive. Or we rule in New Reno now. Do we need the political power, or do we need the base stability? That is the question. I think to political power, honestly, because we will get some more stability. But we will need more stability afterwards to get rid of the other parts, so we can permanently purge the opposition. Let's do that. Right. Alright. The new capital. Let's do that. The new capital will give us cores on these things too, which means that legitimacy will be less important. Because the legitimacy thing is mostly depending on how much is non-enclave population. Currently, non-enclave population is 85%, which means that legitimacy have a big effect on what we have. But with these will be enclave populations as well, which means it will be less bad. Let's see here. Music vault found. During their efforts to clean up some of the smaller criminal organizations in New Reno, Enclave soldiers have stumbled upon a treasure trove of pre-war audio tapes. The vast majority of the tapes have survived and hold long-lost tunes of the old world, collected by a wealthy crime lord over the course of decades. The propagandistic value of such a collection should not be underestimated, as very little music is available to those within the Enclave. Alright, so we can either promote patriotic songs, which increases base war support by 10% and stability by 5%. Old world nostalgia, which improves our popularity, and then base stability by 5. Or release the tapes freely. Political power and base stability. I think this one will be the most attractive version. Because we're going to need both the stability and the support in popularity. The new capital. Oh wow, this is a bunch of things. Okay, the Wastelanders. With the city of New Reno now fully under our control, we are now governing over a significant amount of Wastelanders. Since we cannot install Enclave members to every single position of influence in the city, some Wastelanders have begun exercising an amount of power within our borders. Okay, I suppose this was inevitable, reducing war support, and the People Party will now be called the Wastelanders. I'm not in favor of this at all. We should encourage this, which does that too, but it will get legitimacy, but change in popularity of democracy. I'm not a fan of democracy. Because now this party will be challenging ours, and to do things here, like to assassinate Dr. Anderson, I mean, this only matters for how powerful the purist faction is, right? So, not on my watch. We kind of want legitimacy, but at the same time, we don't want them to become too powerful. We don't have that much support. And if they take 10%, that will surely take quite a bit from our faction as well. Let's try this and see what happens. with 52%. Okay, New Reno slave. During the liberation of New Reno, we've come across a large population of slaves, triggering a debate as to whether we should allow the practice of slavery in these United States. Although there are those who say slavery is un-American, others point out that a captive workforce could be a boon to our economy and has historical precedent. As a compromise, we could adopt Vault City's servitude system, providing food, protection, and medical care in exchange for involuntary servitude. But others say that seems like slavery with extra steps. Yep, it kind of does, doesn't it? If they wanted slavery, they'd have elected Anderson. That's a pretty safe route. We would get factory output, but damn, I want the population. Yeah. We get some more legitimacy this way, so that's always good. Okay, now we can get rid of either the officers or the scientists. Either way, it will reduce the popularity of oligarchs, and we would get rid of the daily elite support from those things. Either way, it's pretty bad. Maybe we should start with the pure scientists? We should really do both, as quickly as possible. Purge the scientists. We should really do both before doing this, because the stability will be reduced, right? The stability will be reduced by quite a bit. And we need the stability to be over 50% in order to do the other one, so let's just wait there. Alright, prepare expansion, or the first brick, or the Enclave police. Or stage raider attacks. Huh. Yeah, all of these are good ones, but I think we will actually wait for what happens next to the next episode. So, I hope you've enjoyed this start so far down the reformer path. We have dealt with a lot of the opposition, and soon we will purge both of them at the very, very same time. So we can quickly follow that up by assassinating Dr. Anderson. After that, we can continue our progress to unite these states of America and reform it all. It's going to be great, I hope. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.